Remember the streaming platform that signed almost every big streamer to multi-million-dollar deals about a year or two ago? Yes, I'm talking about Kick Streaming, and if you're anything like me, chances are you haven't heard much about this platform in quite some time. But what exactly happened to this platform that was supposed to be an early rival of Twitch? Well, that's probably what you're here to find out, so if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join the trap house with the biggest trapper, and while you're at it, don't forget to click that very first link down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. Now with all of that being said, let's get into the unfortunate downfall of Kick Streaming. Okay, so to start, Kick Streaming was officially founded back in late 2022, and the platform would later officially launch in January of 2023. The company was backed by Eddie Craven and Bijan Tehran, two crypto billionaires who were most known at the time for their other popular business venture, Stake.com. Stake was a popular online casino gambling style website that allowed users to gamble on anything from blackjack to sports to even slots as well. The website quickly became popular and even made its way over to the streaming universe, and this would lead to Stake signing big name streamers to deals such as Trainwrecks TV, XQC, and Aiden Ross. And some of these streamers were reportedly earning multi-million dollars a month just from this gambling platform alone. But you see, even though this was working out well for the streamers who had these deals, there were other streamers on Twitch who didn't really support this much at all, simply because they didn't really support the idea of all of these popular streamers promoting gambling to their very young audiences.
I just know obviously there is a gambling meta and the slots and this and that. But the one thing that I did see was this clip of someone leaking that they were getting paid like 1 or 2 million per month. These casinos are getting at least 1 to 2 million of a return on their investment in me. And how do casinos make money? By taking money from people. So 1 to 2 million dollars of my audience's money is technically going to the casinos. Is that wrong? That's crazy. How do you sleep at night? Like, let's be honest. If you're getting an offer from a casino sponsorship, you're already a multi-millionaire. You need to be a multi-millionaire? It would be a good idea for people to sit down at that point and think like, what am I okay with doing? What is ethically or morally maybe just not worth it?
And once streamers started complaining about all of this immediately led to Twitch taking action against all the gambling streamers on the website, because Twitch would end up completely banning the use of slots on stream. So of course this would end up upsetting the streamers who had these very large deals that they had to fulfill, like Trainwrecks TV. But not only did it upset the streamers, it also upset the company as well, because of course they're paying out all of these money for the streamers to promote their site. So without a doubt, it definitely upset the owners of Stake as well. So this is what really ended up sparking the entire development of Kick.com as we know it. But you see, the owners knew that in order for this website to really be successful and truly be able to compete with Twitch, they knew that they had to find other ways to market their platform outside of just gambling. So Kick decided to target two ongoing issues that Twitch had at the time, such as their very strict and some would even say unfair terms of service, and secondly the highly debated Twitch revenue split that placed most creators on either a 50-50 split, or if you was lucky enough to get a contract, maybe a 75-25. Kick ended up using these ongoing issues as advantages against the platform, and they would end up offering streamers a 95-5 revenue split, which of course is miles ahead of Twitch even for those that do have a contract. But that's not all Kick would offer. They also told streamers that they would have the freedom of speech and also the freedom to really do whatever it is they wanted to do without having to fear that much consequence. Like, you wouldn't get randomly banned without knowing what you did, or even get banned for long periods of time. So of course, with giving streamers more freedom and also offering them the ability to make much more money, of course they would end up landing a few big streamers very early on. Obviously the first streamer they signed was Aiden Ross, and not only was he signed to a multi-million-dollar contract, which he claimed to be the largest contract in streaming history, He was also given a percentage of the entire company as well, and luckily this all happened for Aiden because shortly after he moved to Kick, he ended up permanently banned on Twitch, which ended up being a 2-year ban for what was supposedly an unmoderated chat. But this wouldn't be the only big streamer that Kick landed very early, because they will also land Bruce Drop 'em Off, who was one of the biggest Twitch streamers at the time. He ended up signing to Kick on May 31st, 2023 for what was rumored to be north of $80 million. Now, of course, y'all know we got to take all of these Kick numbers with a grain of salt, because you got Twitter pages like Fearbuck and Scuba Ryan just throwing out numbers and nobody really know what's true. But these big names and big contracts wouldn't end there with Bruce, because shortly after the signing of Bruce, they would end up signing another streamer that was a pretty household name at this point and been at the top of Twitch streaming for years. We're talking about a streamer who goes by the name of XQC, and he reportedly signed a contract that was worth $100 million. Once again, take it with a grain of salt, but that's just the numbers that's been thrown around on the internet. And this trend of signing more popular Twitch streamers to all of these big contracts would continue with they signed streamers like Nick Merckx and Your Rage as well later on in the year. And with all of these signings, you would think, okay, Kick is really giving Twitch a run for their money. They're becoming a big competitor. And truthfully, it did seem like they were going to give Twitch a run for their money very early on. But unfortunately, all of this ended up being very brief. Because on the downside, it seemed like all of these big contracts and deals ended up being very bad business decisions for Kick. Starting with Bruce, who has signed to this platform and basically stopped putting any effort at all into his content. And I'm saying that as a huge Bruce Drop 'em All fan, like I'm DEO for L. But when he signed over to Kick, if you was tapped in with those streams, you would know that he mostly just did reactions. Sometimes he was watching movies. There was times where you could go into a Bruce stream on Kick and he wouldn't even have his face cam on. This resulted in Bruce taking a huge hit in his career. At times, he even had under 1,000 viewers on the platform. But the thing was, once Bruce's contract came to an end with Kick, he ended up returning back to Twitch, and he saw immediate success when he returned back to Twitch. And he even had a few things to say about his time on Kick as well.
Obviously, you know, I handled it behind the scenes, obviously. But yeah, Trainwreck said something about me losing the deal. No, I didn't take the second deal because they was trying to make me sign an NDA chat, and you know I am not going. But it's all love to Kick, because you know what's crazy? They're still giving new and up and coming people opportunity, and they gave me one of the best opportunities I've ever accomplished ever in my life. But I done seen the worst side of this shit, and I done seen the best side of this. The worst side being on Kick for the year. Not gonna lie to you. Worst time I've ever had in streaming. The beginning was cool. You know what I'm saying? It killed my motivation for it because it was no creativity within it. It's just do the craziest shit or you're lame.
Now, unfortunately for Kick, this ended up becoming a trend for all of the big name streamers they had signed. Streamers like Your Rage and Nick Merckx ended up completely leaving the platform high and dry shortly after their contracts ended. This is where the downfall of Kick originally started happening, because when all of these big creators left, all of their following and viewership left along with them.
Kick, bro, I don't know what type of ego y'all got going on right now, but y'all niggas need to remember, you niggas need us. Niggas don't need y'all niggas. I don't know if y'all niggas forgot. I don't know if y'all lost the plot. But y'all niggas got the game f***ed up, boy. Where the fuck my predicts? You look at the app a year ago when the first drop, you look at the app now, no changes. I ain't gonna care. I don't give a f***. I'm sorry, I'm not talking. If the shit is shit, it's shit. We're gonna have a dialogue. Don't even worry about it. Chat, I ain't gonna lie. I swear my life I'd be on Twitch right now. But I ain't trying to get in no trouble if I don't fulfill my oblig. Cause this DLC is like 60 hours long. There's no way I'm completing my full Kick hours with beating this DLC. It's impossible.
I get it, and either way, bro. I just want to say thank you publicly. I will text you privately after the stream. I want to say thank you publicly for helping me kickstart Kick Up, bro. You know, it really means the world to me. You're a good friend. I know you really solely did come because of me, and you know, I do appreciate you, and I wish that you had a better experience the first time. But if you end up making a decision to stay, maybe the second time, you know, hopefully you can live up to all that. But bro, you know, it's all love, bro, and I appreciate you.
And to make matters even worse, in the midst of all of this, Kick will also start becoming known for pure degeneracy. I mean, there was a bunch of weird content going on all over the platform, from IRL streamers like Jack Doherty tainted the platform, to even streamers on this site flirting with minors as well. Kick quickly just developed a really bad reputation, which didn't really help the situation much at all. Really, the only hype Kick had outside of Aiden Ross and Neon was streamers like Fuzi and Vitaly, who both had a very short-lived Kick career that mostly died out after each of them got into some legal trouble. Obviously, Fuzi has had multiple mental battles, and Vitaly, I think, is currently facing like 20 years in prison overseas somewhere. So it definitely was looking very bad for Kick, because all of the big streamers they had left and all of the other streamers they had that had gruesome hype ended up getting into some form of trouble that really hindered their streaming career. So after this, Kick quickly learned their lessons with giving out these big multi-million-dollar contracts, because once streamers got these contracts, they ended up just slacking on their content and then leaving once the contract was over. But this ultimately led to Kick just not giving out contracts anymore in general. Instead, the platform would introduce a new way to pay creators and recruit them over to their platform, not by giving them big deals, but by simply making a list of requirements that streamers had to achieve in order to get paid by the hour, similar to like a regular job. And this process would become known as the KCIP program. And for what I've seen so far, it looks like creators are making a lot of money off of it.
$90 for 2 hours, that's $45 an hour, bro. You took a long break, yeah, but this was when my stream messed up. See, that's actually like really good. $345 for 3 hours, that's at least $100 an hour.
Rich. How's that rich? If you think about it, in 15 streams, 21,000, I streamed for an hour. So therefore, that's not bad. $2,000 an hour? No, that's like $1,500 an hour.
Now, even though this seems to be making a lot of the current big Kick streamers a lot of money, Kick still seems to be struggling to bring newer creators over to the platform. Recently, a big streamer by the name of Solominati had just returned back to streaming, and he instantly started seeing a lot of success, but unfortunately, he started running into problems with Twitch, such as getting banned on his second or third stream back, and this led to him practically begging Kick to sign him just so he could be himself and not have to worry about getting banned. But you see, So was looking for these multi-million-dollar deals that Kick was giving out a few years ago when they first started. But unfortunately, according to Aiden Ross, Kick realized that this was just a bad method of business after multiple failed contracts, which led to them no longer wanting to give out these big deals.
Guys, I really want Solominati on Kick. I'm sure all of you guys understand how big it is. The problem is with Kick, they don't offer deals. They don't do that anymore. They just don't do it at all. Because their mindset is like, look, we don't need to pay for anyone because everyone's naturally going to come over here, especially if they have a risk to get banned. Do you guys understand? Think about it from a business standpoint. They genuinely don't, like, for chat, look, Solominati's a target on Twitch. We all know this. So how they're thinking is, okay, eventually Solominati's going to come to Kick.
They need to just go deep in their Australian pockets and get everyone, bro. Because one streamer, Solominati, would make the shit lit.
Here's the problem.
But you need multiple streamers.
They can't give these people these deals anymore because they take these deals, they get lazy.
That's true. So
and then they stop doing the content.
Who did that? Be honest.
I have nothing but love and respect for Bruce.
Yeah.
I love Bruce though, and I think he's an amazing streamer. But when he went to Kick, watching movies, doing streams with no face cam, I was there too. I was doing lazy streams too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
made some bad business deals in the past. But
yes, okay. Solominati, that's actually like literally why like they don't give deals anymore. I'm not even joking, because I ain't gonna lie, Sapnap fucked it up, bro. Sapnap fucked it up, bro. He fucked it up for everyone, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I don't give a fuck. He did, bro. He fucked it up for everyone. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucker signed a multi-million-dollar deal and pulled up 500 viewers, bro. I'm not like, bro, like, what the fuck, bro?
So needless to say, any ongoing negotiations that they had with Solominati ultimately ended up falling through completely, and he said he was staying on Twitch, mostly because he was looking for the big bag that they was offering years ago, and as I just said, they no longer do that. He missed out. He should have came back maybe a year or two earlier, and he probably would have had a multi-million-dollar deal.
I want to give a shout out to that nigga Aiden, because he actually tried his very hardest. Like, he tried his hardest to get me over there on Kick. Kick basically is not really trying to compete with Twitch or nothing. They doing their own thing. They got so much money. They don't really, I'm not saying that they don't care about the streaming side of Kick. They offered me the lowest out of every streaming platform. But they was really the only ones who was trying to do a non-exclusive. The other ones was trying to get me on there for good, and I couldn't stream back on Twitch. I wasn't doing that.
But even though many big name creators aren't really signing with Kick at the moment, it does seem like Kick is starting to recruit more and more streamers over after the KCIP payments have been going viral. I've seen a few creators like Asmongold start duo streaming on both Kick and Twitch, and apparently so far with the KCIP program, Asmongold had made his entire month of Twitch revenue in just a few days over on Kick.
What is this? You don't know what Panda, I did, yo, bro, like, somebody gotta show it, somebody gotta say it. I know Tectone was talking about multiplicatives. I'm looking at numbers. I show you the fucking graph. You want to see the graph? We put it down. So there it is. That's 2 days. That's 2 motherfucking days. There it is. And, yeah. That's so I'm making a bit more, right? Things are going to be a bit more. And, I'm thinking that, yeah, I think that, you know, we've had a really good couple of days here.
But even with streamers knowing that there's still real money to be made over on Kick, it seems like Kick still can't manage to land anybody new. Like I said, they already developed a pretty bad reputation for all of the other creators that were being weird on there, and bigger name streamers going and leaving the platform and then talking bad about it after they left. Just none of this ended up helping their case at all. So truthfully, I really don't know how they plan to get these bigger creators over on the platform. I mean, nowadays, you rarely hear anyone even mention Kick unless they're talking about Aiden, Neon, or XQC. Other than that, I don't think I've seen like a big name associated with Kick since like early 2024. Honestly, I think the best thing that they could do right now is just to keep pushing and promoting this KCIP, and hope that they can manage to get some bigger streamers to duo stream on both Kick and Twitch, similar to what Asmongold is doing right now. He's seeing a lot of very early success doing it, so maybe we'll see other streamers follow this trend as well. That would be the best case scenario for Kick as a platform, because if streamers don't follow this trend, we could be at risk of seeing the end of Kick streaming as we know it. But that's just my personal opinion. As you guys know, the only opinion that matters to me is you guys' opinion. So with that being said, be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think about this entire situation? Do you currently watch any Kick streamers that's not Aiden Rawls? Do you think that Kick has fallen off? And what do you think Kick can do to maybe save the platform? Let me know down below. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join me on my journey to 15K. We're under like 200 subscribers away. You guys have been going crazy, showing me so much love, and I appreciate that. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, be sure to give me a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback to me. And as always, I appreciate all of the love and support. And I'll catch you boys and girls in the next banger, man.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.